What's up, everybody? It's your favorite Why'd You Put This Out Instead of Vortex favorite nerd, and today we are looking at Warbotron's Turbo Ejector, which is their afterburner, and I like him. I like him a lot. If you want me to trash a figure, this ain't the video to watch. But he's really cool. There's a lot of cool things going on, a lot of new things going on here, and we're going to talk about it. But first, we're going to talk about accessories, as we normally do. And he comes with 2 guns, one for each of you. It's a movie reference, if you whatever. Nice unit Mac. It's got silver there painted on, gold there painted on, silver there painted on, and a hinging piece to allow you to utilize it in bike mode. We'll set that to the side. Same here, dual units. Here we have these arm rocket launcher kind of things. So 4 rocket launchers because there's 2 on each hand. I'm going to assume they're rocket. Maybe they're just laser cannons. And this one doesn't plug in as nicely as the other. But you do have 2 of them, because 1, 2 plus 2 guns, so 6 shells coming at you. You know, because science. So this has a translucent piece here, looking very nice. It's an orange piece of plastic, and it's broken up beautifully because you got the orange, you got the translucent orange, you got silver, you got dark gray, and then you got this orangish reddish color there. And pretty nice accessories. We'll set them to the side as well. And you can probably plug them in up here. I haven't done it because it just doesn't. Yeah, so you can plug them in up there or have them go this way, you know, if that works for you. I like them on the arms if I'm going to use them. So there that is. Looking at the figure himself, head, we got silver paint. We got more silver paint. We have light piping coming through to the front of the head. So a lot of color breakup going on there. And it's on a ball joint. Shoulders, we'll get these out of the way. These cannons here, they can rotate, and yes, they are airbrushed at the tips, giving it that, you know, been used feeling, which is nice. They did it to was it Swindle? I think they did it to. Very nice. And then shoulders are on a hinge. They hinge at the shoulder, and then they swivel on the arm bit of the shoulder. Translucent plastic, gray paint, gray paint, gray paint, breaking up that orange. Very nice. Bicep swivel. Elbows on a hinge, non-ratcheted, single joint. You do get this little obnoxious looking bit of business, and that's because they used a pin through this piece instead of like a proper elbow joint. Kind of reminiscent of TFC's Hercules, if you remember that unit. A lot of them did the kind of the same thing. Not ideal, but not a deal breaker either. Forearms, we got silver paint and gold paint, breaking that up nicely. Wrists are on a swivel, and the fingers hinge open. And the finger sculpt had the trigger finger out, which is a nice touch because it still gives you just enough articulation and aesthetic to pull off the pose. I love it. Same on the other arm. Moving on to the waist, it would have been nice with the arms to have a ratchet in there too. Like I thought getting out of the box that this was going to ratchet, but whatever. Beggars can't be choosers, and it is solid joints all around, so no real issue. Just we're talking putting something over the edge. Chest, it's this. You know what? I can't even. I'm guessing this might even be silver paint with this painted over top of it, this orange, because it's metallic, and then this gray bit under here. There's so much color breakup. This here opens up for the combiner port. We'll look at that later on down the road. Who knows when that'll be, given their history. But I do have a little bit of flash there on the chest, so that's relatively disappointing, but otherwise not a big deal. Waist is on a swivel, getting you as much as you could possibly want. And it would have been nice to break this black up a little bit. Since they went overboard with so much of the color breakup on the aesthetics, it would have been nice to have something there. I'm sure Repro Labels will take care of it. Same with the thighs, which we will get to now because the hips are on a ratcheting joint front and back, but just hinges out. So, close enough. I'll give it that. The knees have the same kind of thing going on here, except it's the pin is inside, or it's actually a screw. So it's nicely hidden and non-ratcheted, but still looks good and is very sturdy. Down here we got a little bit of kibble, not a deal breaker. You can flap it down that way, but I think that looks worse. I think they make the right call by telling you to fold it up this way. We got silver paint, gold paint, gray paint. They even did a little bit of notch in there. You know what I mean? Nice. Got some bit of business going on here and there. Mine looks like this is, not sure. Yeah, mine's damaged there. So that's unfortunate. But what are you going to do? Win some, lose some. I'll touch it up with some paint. It'll be fine, but, you know, that's just a QC thing. So down here on the foot, it's on a ball peg that hinges at the ankle, and then the ball joint gets you a little bit of a rocker, but due to the mold of the calf, not tons of it. In the back, you got a heel spur, which is nice, and then this comes out. Maybe this has something to do with the combined feature, because it doesn't really have anything to do with this guy. The back, we do have a little bit of a kibble going on here, but you know, it works. It doesn't throw it off. It looks legit. It looks right. We got translucent bits here on the vents. This looks nice, and like I said, these mounted cannons here articulate and look pretty imposing. Not a whole lot of complaints, you know, in the aesthetics and in the you know, color breakup department. It's nicely done. So let's get him transformed. His transformation is really cool. It's intuitive, a bit more challenging than before, and yet not a problem, you know, which some of the other ones have kind of, you know, not been problems, but have had their little touch and go instances. So open up these flannel pads. We got these, you know, standard issue. How do we transform a transformer? Give them a panel flap to put the fist in the forearm. Revealing these vents that are molded and sculpted on the backside, which I didn't really talk about a whole lot in detail, but the mold and sculpt of this thing, like there's line work everywhere, which has kind of been Warbotron's thing, I feel like. Their line work and so forth it's top shelf. So open that up, flip that up, get that out of the way. Rotate these guns here. Pull this wheel out. It hinges here. Tight joint there. Always be mindful. Flip these around, and you're just trying to get stuff out of the way, really. I don't know if that goes like that, so let me stop there. Close these up here. These have these long tabs here, which make me a little nervous, but they haven't given me any real grief, so to speak, so that's nice. Head can stay where it is. This flips up all the way. We'll go ahead and get the feet kind of squared away. Get them down. Collapse. Warbotron's a big fan of the collapsing calves onto thighs bit, which I'm not crazy about. You know, sliding mechanisms are not my thing. Open this up here. And this is the bottom of the bike. Bring that around. You can kind of see it starting to take shape. These arms are eventually going to go straight out to the side, so you can start getting them together. And then this bit of business here can be a pain. So, I haven't really discovered an easy way to do it, but close that up. These panels right here have to come down. It's a really tight tolerance. So spin them here. And I've already scratched some of my plastic away, so there it is. And you see I've scratched some of mine away just because the tolerance is so tight. And that's, I mean, you probably didn't see that, but it's right there. And that's an issue. That's a tolerance issue. That's one of Warbotron's reoccurring problems. And I didn't, and then I did all that work, ladies and gents, and I didn't flip out this piece in here, which I will go ahead and flip out on this one to avoid that problem. And basically these come down and they snap together. Snap might have been a poor choice of words. And that worked a lot easier this time than it did the prior time, and that's probably because I've worn down that plastic a little bit. Open these panels up here. Nice, sound, and secure. The arms rotate around. Let me lift this up a little bit. There's a peg and a tab. On this piece here, I hope you can see them. And once you got it lined up, it should go right in. No fuss, no muss. Same on the other side. Easy peasy. We got this bit of business. There's 2 tabs in the chest, or 2 slots in the chest that plug into 2 tabs in the thigh area. And then that plugs in, everything stays tight and secure. Lift up these back panels here. Take your accessories and plug them in here. This fit is not the greatest either, but it's not really a problem. And they tab in at the bottom as well. Flip these black bits down, plug in your guns, and you can plug them in up there, wherever you want them, but actually I think I want them up there. Let's put them up there. That gives me the happy feels. There, and there he is. And I'll tell you, the transformation is fun. And it works. The only problem is this bit here, and you can see where it's worn down. I've pointed it out, but it's just with it being translucent plastic, I'm just scared to death I'm going to break it. And I'm not. It's not that I'm scared to death of breaking my toys. Like I'm more scared of how my wife is going to take me breaking the toys.
What is that?
Warbotron.
And how much did that cost me?
It's like $100, Laura.
Unbelievable. What was that?
Nothing.
Let me see it.
No, you don't need to see it. So there he is, all armed up and ready for action. He's awesome. He's a brick. It's very nice. Like I said, I never had the original, but this is how I imagined it to be. Rolls like a champ. These are on 5mm pegs plugged in there, but you could also plug them in there if that met your sensitive sensibilities. And yeah, very, very nice. The paint and everything, it breaks it up. It's smart. It's a little bit more than what I'm used to with Warbotron's transformations. Usually it's like I can see him coming from a million miles away, and this one's just, it's a step above. There he is with, I'll move that back a little bit so it can actually be in the camera. There he is with a Masterpiece car. So he's going to be used as a reference a lot this year. But, you know, like, that's awesome size-wise. If I were to nitpick on one thing, and it would be a nitpick, it would be no kickstand, at least that I can tell. And the wheels are big enough where it really doesn't need it. You see, it even came. Okay, we'll flip back forward that time, but it naturally wants to be in the right spot. So it's nowhere near a deal breaker. Just stating it for the sake of stating it. I'm happy. Size comparison wise, there's Chrome Dome, there's MP wheel jack, and there is Groove, getting a little bit of a gangster lean. And the reason why I I point out these 3 units specifically is because I think he's definitely masterpiece scaled, being bigger than Wheeljack. And you can argue he's a big Voyager, and I would be open to that debate. But at the very least, he's in that new kind of third-party Voyager piece scale, which I like to call it, which is that if you kind of squint and wink at it, I forget what the exact expression is, it can kind of fit whatever you want it to. So no complaints there. And there he is next to his Make Toys effort. I don't know, he's cooler to me. Maybe it's me. It just looks like he's about to give the Make Toys one a wedgie. Real quick, it's worth noting, because I've seen the pictures on the interwebs, there's been pictures circulating around of this guy breaking, and this is where he broke on this guy, is right here at this hinge. You can see how thick this is. Now, I'm not sure if my man just got an ugly duckling, bad egg or something, but I don't have any concerns at all about it breaking on mine. My concerns are over here. This doesn't worry me whatsoever. So if that was a worry of yours because of that picture, all I can tell you is that mine couldn't feel more sturdy. Here's the problems. There's some tolerance issues in those panel bits that go on the transformation. Those are tolerance issues. That can be problematic. It scuffed up my plastic. It could very well scuff up yours. I had a QC issue on the side of the leg. That's probably going to vary figure to figure. Truthfully, it's not a big enough deal for me to get a replacement for it. I'll throw some silver paint on there and no harm, no foul. He could hold the guns a little bit better. You can tell that they're listening to fans who have moaned and groaned about the way that the Combaticons have held their guns. So they're trying to do something to kind of fix that problem, and they're making strides in the right direction. It still has a bit more to go, though. There's the one side piece, this piece that plugs into that arm, that doesn't plug in 100%. It definitely plugs in, but it's not giving you that tight fit and finish feel that you're looking for. It's in the ballpark, though. Could have used a touch of paint on the pelvis, but I'm sure a repro label will fix that, and maybe a touch of paint on the thighs, but otherwise, really not a whole lot to cry about in that department at all. But yeah, it's really hard to pick out the problems with this guy. He really checks a lot of my boxes. The truth is that the transformation is more involved and it's more highly engineered than previous Warbotron releases. The paint breakup is spectacular. The Technobots in general, I think, are kind of boring looking, and this guy kills it. Makes him visually interesting to a character that otherwise is easily forgettable, in my personal opinion. The articulation is good, no real hindrances. Would be nice to have a little bit more with the feet, but I'm a sucker for ankle rockers. That's just kind of my thing. A few extra ratchets here and there wouldn't hurt anything, but it doesn't really hurt anything not having them, because the ratchets that are there are well placed, they're smart, they work well, and the other joints are tight as well. Overall, I gotta say, this thing is looking like it's on its way to punishing Quantron. That being said, we will take a look at both Quantron and Warbotron Computron in the future with some Francis kind of breakdowns. Good figure, very promising. I'm really hoping that we get more on this level and that Onslaught, Vortex, and the following Technobots improve on this, or at the very least stay within this realm ballpark of quality. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Till next time, take care.